Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about basically it's like a long sequence of, that explains how to, target cancer cells and but to accurately in a biochemical mechanistic, way of, actually doing it effectively. So it starts with a sulforaphane, which opens chromatin, because inside chromatin is the DNA where the transcription factors are. Those transcription factors activate the immune system genes. That will also enable the transcription of granzyme B and perforin genes, which are cytotoxic T cells and NK cells that can attack tumor cells more effectively. And also for the immune cell migration and tumor infiltration, this will allow the immune cells to actually go in and attack the cells where they're at. So it's with a bromelain from pineapple and a papaya. So the bromelain cleaves CD44 and CD62L on the immune cells, which allows them to facilitate the migration into the tumor microenvironment. Because if they're not cleaved, then they can't do that. Also, when the immune cells go in, they're actually going to be attacked by cancer cells and tumors, but by a cytokine attack. So this is where astaxanthin from salmon comes in, and the astaxanthin protects the immune cells from oxidative stress within the tumor microenvironment, and as a result of that protection, they're actually it preserves their cytotoxic function. Grass-fed beef has a CLA, which is short for conjugated linoleic acid. This activates brown fat, which competes with tumor cells for glucose and nutrients. So if brown fat is active, it will actually hog up the glucose and the nutrients so that the tumors can't function. Because that's what cancer cells run on, and they use fuel, or they use glucose as fuel to survive. The brown fat also increases mitochondrial activity, which creates ATP, and the ATP supports the immune cell energy needs, because immune cells are a high energy demanding cell. Also, this piece is really important too, which is macadamia nuts, because there are these kilomicrons that carry fat soluble vitamins, which are A, D, and K, A, D, E, and K. And macadamia nuts have a fat, which is going to help the fat soluble vitamins work. Also, if the kilomicrons are working, the vitamin D receptor signaling will improve because of the vitamin D. As a result of this signaling working, this promotes nitric oxide activity, which actually directly attacks the tumors. So as the immune cells are migrating into the hostile environment, they can be protected by the nitric oxide attack. Macadamia nuts are also a good source of arginine, and arginine directly boosts nitric oxide activity. This is also important because in the tumor microenvironment, it actually the tumors actually hog up arginine, and if this goes on too long, this won't allow the sustaining of T cell and NK cell activity. Now, another piece is oranges. Oranges and red cabbage, because tumors actually evade immune detection by trying to downregulate CRT and CP91 on macrophages. But oranges modulate calreticulin, or CRT in short, on tumor cells, and CD91 on macrophages, which enhances phagocytosis. So basically what the macrophage does, the macrophage has a CD91 on the outside. The CD91 binds onto the calreticulin on the tumor cell. So the tumor cell has the CRT on the outside. So as a result of the CD91 binding on the CRT, that actually enables phagocytosis on the tumor cell, which is the macrophage actually engulfing the tumor. Another piece is ginger. This actually reduces toll-like receptor 4 activation on the macrophages. So basically what happens is that like let's say during a gluten exposure, like foods that have gluten, there's this actually activates lipopolysaccharides. Well, what that does, what the lipopolysaccharides do is that it actually activates toll-like receptor 4 on the macrophage. What that does is that it actually suppresses the antigen presentation. So the antigen presentation is needed for the macrophage to see the cancer cell, to attack the cancer cell. But the activation of toll-like receptor 4 actually stops that from happening. So ginger actually stops, it actually prevents the activation of the toll-like receptor 4, so that the macrophage can actually see the cancer cells and attacks them. Also, another piece is that papaya and pineapple intervenes with the HSP70 chaperone pathways, which reduces the tumor's ability to evade immune recognition. Because what tumors do is that they actually alter the HSP70 chaperone pathway, and by doing so, it actually evades immune evasion. So that's where papaya and pineapple come in to intervene in the HSP70 chaperone pathway. So you should consider having a papaya and pineapple as a daily habit in your diet. Okay, so tumors can actually upregulate biofilms via integrin. So the biofilms actually protect the tumors. So papaya actually has a cysteine residue, which will actually modulate the integrin interactions, because the tumors they upregulate biofilms via integrin clustering on fibronectin and actin. So the papaya has cysteines that actually stops that upregulation of fibronectin and actin, because if papaya doesn't stop that, then this will promote the resistance to immune attack by the tumor. The tumor will upregulate fibronectin, which leads to the promotion of resistance to immune attack by immune cells. Another piece in this long sequence is peaches and pears as a part of your normal daily diet, because peaches and pears have quercetin. Quercetin lowers oxidized LDL, which reduces lipid oxidation and systemic inflammation, which indirectly supports immune function, because oxidized LDL is actually inflammatory. So by lowering that inflammation, immune cells can function much better. To finalize and complete this sequence, here's a recap, is that so chromatin opens, inside the chromatin is the DNA, because if the chromatin is closed, the chromatin has to be opened. So if it's closed, the cytotoxic gene transcription won't work. If the gene transcription doesn't work, then the immune cell cytotoxicity won't work, which means that the immune cells can't attack the cancer cells. So sulforaphane from cruciferous vegetables, let's say cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, all those vegetables have sulforaphane. Also, another recap is bromelain from pineapple, which cleaves CD44 and 62L. That actually opens up the extracellular matrix, so that the immune cells can go in. Because if the extracellular matrix is closed, then the immune cells can't go in and they can't attack the cancer cells. Also, as the cancer cells go in, they're going to be attacked by tumors, inflammatory cytokine attack from tumors. So this is where astaxanthin comes in, that protects the immune cells. You can find astaxanthin in salmon. So salmon is very high in astaxanthin. Another recap is conjugated linoleic acid from meat or grass-fed meat. This actually increases brown fat, which the brown fat steals glucose and amino acids from tumors, because cancer tumors use glucose as fuel. So if there's no glucose for fuel, then the cancer cells can't metastasize. Also, arginine from macadamia nuts, because arginine boosts nitric oxide, which attacks tumors. Nitric oxide also enhances immune cell activity. And then also to counteract tumor immune evasion mechanisms, there's the CRT on the outside of the tumor cell, and then there's a CD91 on the macrophage. The CD91 on the macrophage binds on the CRT on the macrophage, which enhances phagocytosis, which is the macrophage engulfing the cancer cell or the tumor. And then also quercetin from fruits, such as peaches, can actually reduce oxidative stress. So that finalizes my video. Subscribe for more videos, because I have a lot more coming up. And I'll see you soon.